Everyone is talking about AI taking over jobs and university fees going crazy. But in Australia, there are still real jobs that don't always need a university degree and can still pay you solid money. And for yourself, you can still earn six-figure salaries. And from AI perspective, it's still very far off or very hard for AI to replace those jobs in industries. So in this series, I'm breaking those jobs down one by one, who they are for, how to get in, and if you can move from overseas with their skill set. Hello everyone, this is Ali. I'm from Australia and I'm a supply chain professional here in Australia. I have experiences well over 15 years working for many local and international FMCG companies based in Australia. And this is my channel, Cross Border Street, where we talk honestly about careers, money, real people, real life, and real stories. In the last few episodes, we touched on different types and categories of jobs. Could be suitable for international student or could be suitable for newly arrived migrant. We touched on part-time, full-time, casual, contractual jobs. We touched on different work venues such as from cafes, restaurants, or supermarkets, or warehouse, logistics, and deliveries. I've also touched on 7 Australian jobs that I see um, are in high demand and don't always need a university degree and can still pay you good salary. So we're now going to go deeper, one job at a time, and in each episode, I'll try to cover who this job suits, what English and qualification you need, whether you can move from overseas with the skill, and the realistic salary range that you can expect if you are to pursue career in those industries. So in today's episodes, I'll be touching on aged care and disability support work. So why these jobs matters? Let's start with this first. Australia is a big country. The population is growing, so is the aging population. So Australia has an aging population. We're living longer and a lot of people need daily help, whether at home or in different facilities. The aged care and disability sector already employs hundreds of thousands of workers in Australia, and the country is still growing. So if you are thinking serious and if you are thinking about 2026 and beyond, this industry is definitely up for grab and something to consider very seriously. This industry and the jobs related to the industry is not for today, tomorrow, next week. It's here to stay. It has long-term potential with real demand. Now, what does the work actually looks like? If you are to pursue career in aged care or disability industry, or as a support worker in disability industry, what does the work look like? So I'll probably group it into two categories. One is a aged care worker, and the other one is disability support worker. And I'll probably put myself as I'm doing the role, and I'll try to explain my way. So if I'm an aged care worker, I see myself, my daily routine as in I'm helping the elderly people or aged people, to take their shower. I'm helping them to take them to a room to change their dress. I see myself, preparing meals for them, doing some light cleaning, maybe sometimes going out for shopping with them. Most importantly, talking, listening, keeping them company or giving them company is very critical. So for this type of role, aged care, as an aged care worker, communication is key. Communication is critical, for success, and we'll touch on it later on in this video. Now, if I'm a disability support worker, I see myself, helping those disabled people with their communication. I'm helping them to build their confidence. I see myself helping them to be independent. Almost like aged care worker, I see myself sometimes preparing meals for them, taking them to transport. Sometimes I'm taking them to different appointments, whether it's to hospital or to doctor or any other appointments. I also see myself sitting down with them, doing some work or study. There's one thing is very common between aged care worker and disability support worker, and that is it is very hands-on role. You need to be involved heavily, both physically and emotionally, with that person. So it has a personal touch, and sometimes it could be messy. So if you're a person that likes to sit down on your desk and do your 9 to 5 job, or likes to do 9 to 5 job, definitely aged care and the disability support worker roles is not for you. But on the other hand, if you have sympathy, if you have empathy, if you are a caring person, if you love to deal with elderly people, if you love to deal with disabled people, then this is something definitely to consider seriously, to take as a career for your future. So who is this job good for? That's probably the next question for us. This job works best for people, or work best for those people who are caring, who are patient, who are emotionally steady and stable, who are physically capable and fit, and very flexible with their shift. So let's go through this very quickly. When I'm talking about caring and patient, I'm talking about sympathy and empathy. You need to be able to demonstrate that you do care for elderly people, you do care for disabled people. You need to demonstrate that you are okay with repeating the same things every day with your patient. You need to be able to demonstrate that you can handle the sickness, you can handle confusions, you can handle the dementia. You might be seeing sometimes people cannot move from one place to another place, so you need to be able to help them to move from one place to another place. So these are some basic moral characters and behaviors that we call it emotional intelligence, that we need to be keeping in our mind all the time. That caring, patient, emotionally steady, and physically capable is very critical to be successful in this type of roles. One other thing is very critical at the same time, and that is flexible around shift. The work and the workloads, it goes around the center, the way center operates. Most of the facilities and centers, they're 24 hours open, so 24/7 365 days they're open. So you will be required to work early mornings, late evenings, or late nights. You might be needed to work on the weekends, you might be needed to work on the public holidays. So you need to be flexible around your shift. Now again, if you think that you are not a caring person, or you don't have sympathy or empathy for disabled person or elderly person, this role is certainly not for you. Now let's talk about the qualification very quickly. What qualification do I really need to be successful or to pursue my career in these industries? Do I really need a university degree? Answer is no. The most common pathway to enter into this industry is Certificate 3 or Certificate 4 in individual support, aged care, or disability. These courses usually take 6 to 12 months. You can either study at TAFE, or you can study at private colleges, or you can take a traineeship where you can work and study at the same time. And during this course, or inside this course, you will usually learn things like safe lifting, moving, infection control, communication with clients and families, basic understanding of dementia, disability, and mental health. So very important, and one for to note it down. You will be also doing and needed to do practical placement. So that is actually real shift with real clients while we are doing your final phase of study in those courses. So many people actually get their first job offer from the place where they do the placement. So that's a good news, right? You pretty much ready to go, rock and roll, and start your career while you're almost finishing your course and placement. Now let's talk about the English. We talked about the communication earlier very briefly, but let's talk about the English as a general and a pathway to take these jobs and as a career. You don't need a perfect grammar, you don't need perfect accent, but you must be able to demonstrate that you have a good understanding of English. And when we're talking about good understanding in English, we're talking about communication skill, talking skill, we're talking about listening skill, we're talking about writing skill, we're talking about reading skill. And why this is important? This is important because if we are talking about reading skills, you need to be able to demonstrate that you can read the medication labels. And I'm just giving you some examples. You might need to read medication labels. You might need to read safety messages. When we're talking about writing skills, we're talking about writing short notes or incident reports if something happens during your shift. When we're talking about normal conversation, you got to keep in mind that you are actually dealing with elderly person or disabled person, so your conversation needs to be very clear, simple, and very humble way. So these are some of the soft skill that goes together with caring, having patience, having emotional intelligence, having physical capability. Communication skill goes together with that as well. Now, if I sum it up and if I try to put it in a very simple way, if you don't see yourself talking to a elderly person or disabled person for good solid 10-15 minutes without panicking, without stressing yourself, then this job could be hard and unsafe for yourself and for the patients or elderly person. So in this case, your first step is to improve your English and then come back to this pathway. Now, the other point that I touched earlier, can you move from overseas with this skill? Answer is yes, but not instantly. A common pathway look like this way. You get a visa that actually lets you to study and work in Australia. You enroll yourself for certificate 3 or 4 or individual support courses. You complete your placement and use that as a networking. And after you finish, you apply for the jobs with a new qualification and use your local references. You can also enter Australia under a partner visa. You can also enter Australia as a de facto visa, under a de facto visa, and you can actually take these courses. It can go up to 6 months or 12 months, and as soon as you finish, you can actually straight away go into these jobs and do full-time hours, even though you are under partner or de facto visa. If you are already an experienced nurse or carer in overseas, that helps a lot. Definitely that helps a lot, but there will be still needed or requirement to get your paperwork checked and balanced and reviewed by the appropriate governing body in Australia. So the key point here is this is a realistic career path once you are here, and you just need to make sure that all your paperwork are ready to be reviewed and checked by appropriate people. Now, last but not the least, we talk about the salary, money, and the salary range. We'll put it in a very simple way. In many jobs across aged care and disability support industry, they will pay you around anywhere in between $28 Australian dollar to $35 Australian dollar per hour. This hourly rate could vary if you are to do night shift or weekend shift or public holiday shift. But let's say if you are doing normal hours and you are earning anywhere in between $28 Australian dollar to $35 Australian dollar an hour, you are probably looking at $55,000 to $70,000 in a year if you are working as a full-time 38 hours a week. So that 55 to 70,000 Australian dollar per year, it includes taxation. So once again, your base hourly rate, you are looking at anywhere in between 28 to 35 Australian dollar, and your yearly package, you're probably looking at anywhere in between 55 to 70,000 Australian dollar per year. As I touched on the other side of the shifts, if you are doing weekend shift or night shift or public holiday shift, your pay will go higher because of the penalty rates. The other thing to keep in mind, we're talking about here entry-level roles within aged care and disabled support worker. But if you are successful and if you do really well, there is always an opportunity to progress within your center and within this industry. The next step, you're looking at probably a team leader role. You're probably looking at coordinator role. You might be actually doing some course down the track, such as nursing, which is high demand at the moment and big salary comes with that as well. So one for you to just note it down, that it's not that you'll be just a aged care worker or disabled support worker all your life. There is always a room for career progressions if you stick around. I really want to touch on very briefly about AI and robotics that I talked early in this video. Whether this type of jobs and industry will be taken over by AI and robotics or not, and my answer is it will never take over by AI or robotics, and that is purely because of human connections and human touch. As I said, this is one of the jobs that is based around real people, real life, real story, real touch, and that cannot be taken over by machines or robotics. So one for us to think and sit down and think about our future career. If you are to really pursue and think about building our career in Australia and making our living out of it, this is definitely one for one for grab and think about it seriously for future. The downside, I probably just want to touch on the downside of doing jobs from this industry. It is emotionally heavy. You will see sickness, you will see decline, you will see death sometimes. The shift work can be hard, especially if you have a young family, you have kids at home. You'll be working on a different rotating roster. You might be seeing some physical strain because you may have to move people from one place to another place. So it has a physical demand, and you might feel sometimes pressured. And the salary wise, pay is decent but not huge for the emotional load. So one to just keep in mind, the pay is decent and good actually, above average, but when you compare against emotional, how emotional it is heavy, physically strained, can put you on mental stress, then probably it net feels like not huge from the emotional load perspective. So we talked about aged care and disabled support worker in today's episodes. We talked about the English or the communication skill that you need as a first priority to be successful in this role. We talked about the courses that you need to do to be able to successful and pursue your career in this type of roles. We also talked about very briefly around the salary or wages that you will get. So if this video gave you some clarity, if you think that you're getting some insights, then please hit the like button. It tells YouTube to show this to more people who are confused about their future. And also comment below and tell me, does aged care or disability support suit you? Yes or no, and why? What scares you most about this job? In the next episode, I'll try to break it down another high demand job in Australia for 2026-2027 from our list. Again, one job, one video with the same format. We'll keep it simple, we'll keep it plain, we'll keep it very raw, and we'll keep it very natural for myself and for my audience and future audience. If you want honest talk about careers, money, migration, subscribe to this channel, Cross Border Street, and turn on the notification bell for me. I'm Ali, this is Cross Border Street. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.